Hey, it's Reverend Stephanie Niece. Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk to you briefly tonight about something. I want to talk to you about a topic that might resonate. It's feeling lost at 50 and beyond, right? So this is a different time for us, right? Many of us are in this 50 and beyond season. So let's talk about feeling lost in this season. Um, but fear not, because today we're also going to explore some reasons behind this feeling and also talk about how to overcome this feeling so that you can move forward in this next chapter of life, right? And this is a real situation. Today, I'm blessed. My kids are home from college. And so we were at the mall just doing a little Christmas shopping. And my daughter started going through the pictures, right? And so she was showing me a picture of me about maybe I guess about 8 or 9 years ago. And I look like a totally different person. All of this was not here, right? My hair was still black, it was straight, just a whole different person, right? And probably 35 pounds lighter as well. So these moments happen to us, and we're like, oh my God, what's happening, right? We do feel a sense of loss, right? Because we're not the person who we used to be. And as we reach our 50s and beyond, things change. There's several reasons that contribute to this feeling of being lost or not having any purpose. And one of the common reasons, one of the most common reasons is empty nest syndrome. Empty nest syndrome is real, is very, very real, right? I get so excited when my children come home, right? They're home right now. They just got here and they're going to be, my daughter's going to be here for about 4 weeks. My son is just going to be here for a couple of days, right? NCAA rules, right? They have to have 10 days off because of basketball. So he's here for a few of those days. And I'm excited, right? I went to the grocery store, shopped, right? Because I don't have to do any of these things now that they are gone and out on their own, so to speak, right? But so there is a sense of loss that comes, right? You don't serve the same purpose that you used to serve. Right. So empty nest syndrome is one of the reasons for being lost. Our children have grown up, they've moved out, they have their own lives, right? And that helps us or causes us sometimes to have a sense of purposelessness. That's a tongue twister, purposelessness. Additionally, societal expectations, right? Age-related changes, menopause, right? That's a big one. No one really talks about menopause. It's starting to be talked about a little bit more today, but this is not something that had been talked about. It was kind of a taboo, right? And there's all of these changes that happen to you, changes that your body goes through, changes in mindset, and you have to really grab hold of yourself and reinvent yourself on so many different levels, right? Because your relationships change. Relationship with your spouse changes, right? Relationship with yourself changes. And so these are some things that can contribute to feeling lost in this season, right? Another thing is not only the societal expectations, right? Society expects for us to be young and youthful, right? And full of vigor. And we can be that at 50 plus, but sometimes when you look at that picture from the past of what you look like and that picture of today, right? I just spoke to looking at a picture from 8 years ago, 35 pounds less, straight hair, black hair. Oh my God. You go, what happened? Where did I go? Right. And we are supposed to age. And it's nice if we can age gracefully and age naturally and age with peace in our hearts. But that doesn't always happen. And so sometimes we do have a sense of loss, right? Another thing that happens to us that can question our identity, question our place in the world, is just this whole aging thing, right? And I talked about menopause earlier, but just aging in general. Health issues also. For some of us, right? And I've been very blessed, thank God. But for some of my sisters, health issues have been a huge concern, right? Career transitions, that's a big one. Career transitions, right? What is life going to look like for me now? On our jobs, we're not valued the same way we were valued in our 20s, in our 30s, in our 40s, right? When we're older, right, they're paying us top dollar. They're paying us top of the top for our jobs because we've been in those positions. We are experts in those positions. But, right, management is looking for ways to put other people in those positions who they could pay half of what we're earning, right? And so that's a really big thing that causes us to also feel a sense of loss, especially if our job has been downsized or if we've been laid off for any reason. Relationship changes can also add, right? Many of us are done raising our children. Our children are adults, right? And some marriages are breaking up. Some marriages stay together. I hate to say it, but some marriages stay together to raise the kids, right? Together for the sake of the family. But now that the children are older and out on their own, some of those marriages are breaking apart, right? Even I'm one of those people. My twins graduated on a Saturday, and on Sunday, the next day, my ex-husband was off to Africa for a new adventure. And some people say, "Are you mad?" No, he's living the life of his dreams. Now he has started over, right? He's now a dad, right, and has a baby girl. But that these things happen, right? These things happen. And so in the sense of this, if you're no longer a spouse, you also have a sense of loss around that, right? So we have to look at how can we overcome. We have to overcome these blocks because these are simply blocks that get in the way of our growth. So now let's look at how we can overcome these blocks to our growth, how we can overcome this sense of feeling lost, how we can overcome this sense of purposelessness, right? Because you are gifted with a purpose. God has given you a purpose, and you may have forgot it, or you might haven't realized what your purpose is yet in this 50 and beyond stage. But trust and believe, these are the wisdom years, right? You've been through a lot, right? You've been through a lot, but guess what? Your story, your testimony, your life can be a blessing to somebody else, right? So we have to take all of those experiences, right? And know that those were not for nothing, right? Those were equipping us and building us into who we are today. So let's talk about how we can overcome this sense of being lost and how we can walk in our purpose in this stage of life, 50 and beyond, right? The first step number one, embrace change. You have to embrace change, right? That's the main thing. The one thing about life is that it will change. Back in the day, there was a book that I loved, and the book was called Who Moved My Cheese? And we have to understand life is like that, right? Wherever we were getting fed, wherever we were getting nourished, wherever we found our sense of purpose, sometimes that represents the cheese. And the cheese can get moved. And the cheese does move, or the cheese does dry up, or the cheese does get moldy, right? So we have to figure out, even it doesn't even matter who moved my cheese, it's my cheese is gone. Now I have to find a new source, right? A new purpose. All right. And so we know our source is God, right? Our source is God. But even with God being our source, sometimes we still feel that sense of loss. And so instead of looking at the things that have happened to you as setbacks, look at those things as growth steps to help you on this next level of the journey, right? Self-reflection. You got to self-reflect in this time. You got to be still, be quiet, and self-reflect. And implement mindfulness practices, right? Implement prayer. Prayer and mindfulness and self-reflection helps you to look at where you've been and then also propels you forward to where you're going in this new season. God is not done with you yet. You hear? God is not done with you yet. And that is exciting. And so we need to reconnect, right? We have to reconnect with our inner selves. We have to reconnect with who we are, right? Because this may not look like it looked like, right? I talked about 8 years ago, looking at those pictures today. Oh, I was so cute. I was so cute. And I've always had a baby face, right? But with that black hair and that straight hair and 35 pounds lighter, oh, I was so cute. But the reality is, this doesn't look like that. And that's the case for many of us. And so we have to look at what's going on with our inner selves, right? Right? Oh, I am super cute on the inside. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. And do you know what's on the inside? comes out on the outside, right? So do the work, do the prayer, do the mindfulness, do the meditation, right? Trust God and know that I am is inside, right? God is within each and every one of us. And so God is trying to propel us forward in this new season, but we have to do the self reflection. All right. You have to find clarity and then you have to find value, right? What is your value? Do you value yourself? Do you love yourself? And when you know that you love yourself and you value yourself, you can walk forward in new goals, right? You can do it. Seeking support from loved ones in this time is also good. From friends or even from a therapist, right? Sometimes you got to talk all this out because sometimes it's just way too much to bear. So also a therapist can be really helpful in this time. If not a therapist, look for some books, look for a book list for inspiration, right? That can help aid you on your journey of self-discovery and on your journey of growth. Right? I recommend some inspirational books, of course, the Bible. And here's another one, Daring Greatly, Brene Brown. That's an excellent one when you're on this journey of self-discovery. Also, she has another one called The Gifts of Imperfection, which is really great. 21 Days of Faith, Finding Your Purpose. That's my own book, and that's excellent as well. And you can find that one on Amazon. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I don't want you to feel lost in this season, right? In this 50 and beyond season, it's different. But guess what? You can walk in your purpose, right? Walk in faith, find your purpose, and abundance will follow. So you can do it. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself. Take that time to reflect. Take that time for mindfulness, take that time for prayer, take that time to sit in stillness and know that even though you're not who you were, who you are today is an amalgamation of all that has come before. And there's still great purpose and great things for you to do. Thank you again for joining me. May the blessings of light guide you on your journey. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.